Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to share the highlights from the 2024-25 provincial budget. This year's budget makes record new investments in classrooms, care, and communities. Sometime later this year, Saskatchewan's population will reach 1.25 million people. That's up 250,000 people since our government was first elected. This budget responds to the challenges of a growing province by reinvesting the benefits of a growing province. This budget delivers the largest ever increase in school operating funding, up 180 million, or nearly 9% to 2.2 billion. It also provides the largest ever increase in health funding, up 726 million, more than 10%, to 7.6 billion. And it includes the largest ever increase in municipal revenue sharing to cities, towns, villages, and rural municipalities. Classrooms, care, and communities. This year's budget makes these important investments without any new taxes or tax increases. The $19.9 billion revenue forecast for the 2024-25 budget is up $184.2 million, or 0.9% from last year. The increase is due to growth in all revenue categories except non-renewable resources, largely due to the moderation of potash prices. Non-renewable resource revenue is forecast to be $2.7 billion in 2024-25, which accounts for 13.5% of the total revenue. This is below our target ceiling of 15% that is deemed prudent and sustainable for fiscal planning purposes. Total expense is projected to be $20.1 billion, an increase of $1.5 billion, or 7.9% over last year. The 2024-25 budget has a projected deficit of $273.2 million, but is expected to return to a surplus position in 2025-26 due to increasing revenues driven by economic growth. As a sign of the continued strength of our finances, Saskatchewan continues to maintain the second lowest net debt to GDP ratio in Canada at 14%. And to put that in context, that is less than 1/3 of the federal government's debt to GDP ratio of 46.8%. The 2024-25 budget supports students and teachers through a record level investment of $3.3 billion for the Ministry of Education. That's up 8.1% over last year's budget and is an increase of more than $247.8 million to support pre-kindergarten to grade 12 schools, early learning, childcare, and libraries. This includes $2.2 billion in operating funding for Saskatchewan's 27 school divisions for the 2024-25 school year, a record increase of $180 million. Overall, this budget provides $356.6 million in support for our classrooms, including funding to address classroom size and complexity. This is an increase of $45.6 million, or 14.7%, from the previous year to help students and teachers in the classroom. Other highlights from the education budget includes $216 million for kindergarten to grade 12 school capital, $408.7 million for early learning and childcare, and $793 million for post-secondary sector. We will continue to invest in Saskatchewan's present and future labour force. The 2024-25 budget includes close to $80 million in funding for workforce development programs. The 2024-25 budget delivers a record investment of $7.6 billion into the Ministry of Health, an overall increase of $726.4 million, or 10.6% over the previous year's budget. The Saskatchewan Health Authority will receive $4.7 billion, or a 5.6% increase compared to last year. Our government is committed to continuing to recruit more healthcare professionals to our province. The budget includes funding for the Health Human Resources Action Plan to recruit, train, and retain skilled healthcare professionals. To ensure our health professionals have appropriate facilities to provide care to the people of Saskatchewan, the 2024-25 provincial budget invests a record of $516.8 million in health infrastructure. This is an increase of $179.3 million from the previous year and includes $180 million for the redevelopment of the Prince Albert Victoria Hospital, $55 million for the replacement of the Weyburn General Hospital, $27 million for construction of the L'Orange Long-Term Care Project, $21.9 million to complete construction of the Regina General Hospital Parkade, and $20 million for Regina's long-term care specialized bed project. The budget includes $30 million for the Saskatchewan and Regina Capacity Pressures Action Plans, as well as nearly $10 million increase for the Regina Urgent Care Centre. Funding is also being directed to continuing to reduce the surgical wait list, working to achieve a 3-month wait time target years ahead of schedule. The Saskatchewan Cancer Agency will see an increase of $26.1 million for a total record budget of $248.9 million. This year's budget also includes investments to deliver timely, exceptional health cancer care services for Saskatchewan women. A $3.5 million increase to breast cancer care and screening includes technology enhancements and new diagnostic imaging equipment, as well as the establishment of the recently announced Breast Health Center here in Regina. Mental health and addictions will receive its highest ever budget of $574 million, more than 7% of the overall health budget, with an increase of $34 million for targeted incentives. This includes $29.2 million increase to address addictions in vulnerable populations, and an investment of $4.7 million for targeted mental health initiatives with a strong focus on our youth. For cities, towns, villages, and rural municipalities throughout Saskatchewan, this budget provides a record increase of $42.4 million in municipal revenue sharing. This is an increase of 14.2% from the year before and provides a total of $340.2 million for Saskatchewan's communities. More than $255 million in targeted funding will be provided for First Nations and Métis people and organizations, which is an increase of $6.1 million over the previous year. This includes an increase of $930,000 to support First Nations and Métis communities to participate in consultations related to duty to consult. This year's budget provides $719.4 million for the Ministry of Corrections, Policing and Public Safety to maintain and provide public safety and the well-being of our communities. This includes $7 million to continue the implementation and hiring of the Saskatchewan Marshals Services in anticipation of the service becoming operational in 2026. This year's budget also delivers $31.7 million for programs and services to address interpersonal violence. The 2024-25 budget continues to deliver more than $2 billion in affordability measures. While all Canadians are affected by inflation and cost of living pressures, Saskatchewan remains one of the most affordable places in Canada to live in terms of rent or home ownership costs, utility bills, and taxes. I encourage all of you to look at pages 73 to 78 in the budget document to see a comparison showing how life is more affordable here than in the rest of Canada. Saskatchewan residents will continue to receive additional relief this year as a result of our government's decision to stop Sask Energy and SaskPower from collecting the carbon tax on natural gas and electric residential home heating, which will save Saskatchewan households $400 on average this year. The 2024-25 budget will help low-income individuals, families, and seniors provide for their basic needs. It strengthens the support provided to families and communities and includes a record $1.5 billion for the Ministry of Social Services, an increase of $112.4 million, or 7.8% compared to last year. That includes $16.7 million increase to continue to fund the provincial approach to homelessness. The Saskatchewan Housing Corporation investment of $83.4 million to maintain and repair up to 1,400 provincially owned housing units. An $18 million increase to support clients with intellectual disabilities, including the construction of new group homes. Monthly income assistance benefits will increase by 3% for the Saskatchewan Income Support, or SIS, and the Saskatchewan Assured Income for Disability, or SED, clients. The second year in a row where the benefits have been increased for the SED program, and the third straight year of increases for the SIS program. The personal care home benefit monthly income threshold will increase by $100 to $2,500 to help make living in a licensed care home more affordable for seniors. All of these important investments in classrooms, care, and communities, and other important programs and services are only possible because of a strong and growing economy. An essential part of growing our economy is expanding our export markets. More export sales abroad mean more jobs here at home. With a budget of $40.6 million, the Ministry of Trade and Export Development is supporting Saskatchewan's economy by expanding our presence in international markets. The 2024-25 budget includes $53.8 million for the Ministry of Energy and Resources to support our economy and with a focus on Saskatchewan's world-class natural resources. In recognition of the important role of critical minerals in the global economy, the budget introduces the Saskatchewan Critical Mineral Innovation Incentive and the Critical Mineral Processing Investment Incentive. To further encourage investment into Saskatchewan's economy, the 24-25 budget includes enhancements to the Saskatchewan Petroleum Innovation Incentive, the Oil and Gas Processing Investment Incentive, Saskatchewan Commercial Innovation Incentive, and Saskatchewan Technology Startup Incentive. Our government recognizes the contributions small businesses make to our community. For that reason, the small business tax rate reduction, which is at 1% and was scheduled to end this June, will remain in effect till June 30th, 2025. The eligible businesses income threshold for small business tax will remain at $600,000, the second highest threshold in Canada. That means Saskatchewan will continue to have Canada's second lowest small business tax rate. This year's budget delivers the largest total capital budget in Saskatchewan's history, the largest Crown Corporation capital budget in Saskatchewan's history, and the largest executive government capital budget in the province's history. Included in these investments are $741 million in safe and efficient transportation to meet the growing needs of Saskatchewan's businesses, families, and communities. The highways budget provides $417.3 million for transportation capital and invests $17.6 million into the safety improvement program to improve road safety. These are just some of the highlights of the 2024-25 provincial budget. I encourage you to look through the documents and news releases to learn more about where the budget invests in many other important programs, services, and capital projects. The 2024-25 budget makes record new investments in classrooms, care, and communities. These investments are only possible with a strong and growing economy. Our government will always work to ensure a strong economy and a bright future so that we can make the important budget investments that Saskatchewan people deserve. Thank you.